everyone's looking for the young guy. They're looking for McVay. I think take a shot out Todd Bowles, get him a second shot at head coach, and see if he can do it.
I don't think they will. If they don't have Anthony Davis, I'm saying it right now. If Anthony Davis is out for the playoffs, they don't make it out of the first round.
It's crazy. And our kids will know how great Tom Brady is because he's going to be playing.
Yes, it is 15.0%.
That's what the Yankees brought Garrett Cole to do.
He was a 6th-round pick. This is a fairy tale story that's being written in front of our eyes.
People like to call them their JV team, and they just stole one of their better players.
They didn't struggle against the Padres. The Padres didn't really put up a fight in most of the games.
Jerry Jones, hope you're listening.
Hi, I'm Landon Bowe, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week, except this is going to be on fantasy. We've talked about 2-0, 0-2, and starts and about for the regular season, but this fantasy is different, I would say. And the man that has like legitimate running backs compared to me, Austin.
Yeah, I'm 2-0 on both of my teams. Kevin, I know you're 1-1 and 0-2 on yours. But in the same sense, it is a shorter season, so you would think that it matters more to not be 0-2, but fantasy is so hard to manage throughout the entire year, and people freak out, get overzealous, make dumb trades. I definitely feel like starting 0-2 is not a death sentence.
Okay, I think you have to be a little bit more concerned. Then with the team, I think you can be a little bit concerned. Maybe you are. I think in fantasy you have to be more concerned because it's all stats based. And you can't really, in a game physically and in the real world, you can be like, okay, we almost had it. Now we can get there. There's nothing really to build off in fantasy.
I disagree. Whether it's performance from players or just scoring a lot of points, if you lose, but you had the second most points in the entire league that week, so that's definitely something I would say that you could build on pretty handily because fantasy is the most like down to earth example of how good your team is because you have points. It tells you how good you are. It's not based on who you play against. It's not based on what week it is. A little bit it is based on that, but you could always score 140 no matter what week it is. You could always score 140 against any opponent. They're not going to necessarily stop you from doing so. It's just how good is your team. That's really what you got to base this through 2 weeks, and I would not pick.
Okay. With me, I'm not panicking. I'm just trying. I got to work on some stuff. To me, this is a big. I don't want to go 1-2. I definitely don't want to go 0-3 in the other league, but to me, it takes a lot. You got to work on more stuff from fantasy. You got to think about the trades and all that. And sometimes you're just expecting. To me, I'm expecting some guys to break out, such as Tank Dell and Sam Laporta.
Yeah. But to answer the question fully, no, starting 0-2 is not a death sentence.
I don't think it's a death sentence in fantasy. I think I've been 0-2 and I made it to the championship. But to me, it's you got to do some work. And I would say it's time to panic. It's not like what we did with the previous videos where is it time to panic? To me, it's pretty much, yeah, you need to fix something if you're 0-2 in fantasy.
Fix something and panic is two different things, though, and I definitely think it's on a case by case basis whether or not you're panicking. If you have Puka and Pacheco in the CMC, yes, 100%. I mean, I don't know how you'd even have that team, but if you had three guys that were injured, maybe CMC, Cup, Pacheco, yeah, sure, I'd be panicking. But that's just because of situation, not necessarily because of score or because of team goodness. It sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I think usually injuries would be the reason why I would be panicking because it makes it harder to make trades and also capture ceiling.
Yeah, injuries are definitely a big thing in fantasy just because it's hard to trade. And another thing to me would be betting on guys. I'm kind of a guy that I'll bet on some players, and if it doesn't work out, to me it's tough to recoup that value because you're selling low basically, and trying to capitalize off something just to get some more consistent guys.
I avoid, again, thinking about the season long term. It's a good bit of teams make the playoffs in fantasy football most times, and even if it is 4-10, 4-12, a lot of people are going to be freaking out more than you, and you just have to capitalize off of that.
Okay. All right. So you have a more long-term view. I would say maybe a week or two view from me in fantasy. What how would you say? Is it just playoffs? Like, okay, how am I looking in the playoff picture?
Yeah, all you need to do is get there. So it's not just playoff picture. It's also what team is dominant. It's about winning a title eventually. So that's really what I'm looking. How am I shaping up for the last week of the season?
Okay. So that's a little bit of our fantasy. Let us know what you like in the comments. We will keep you updated as I use all my fantasy and others, including Austin's thoughts, to rebound from my 1-1 start in the league that I had trouble with. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure to check out the other one. And we appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.